It has been said that people fear what they don't understand, and truly understanding another person's thoughts or feelings is the hardest puzzle we have yet to solve. But what if we could wholeheartedly feel another person's pain? Would this newfound bond and knowledge bring human beings closer together, or could it potentially tear us further apart? What's up, people? Welcome to RoR Reviews, where I, Rayden, rain upon video games and anime with an adult eye until the sun sets. Today I'll be taking a look at the anime Kiznaiver. Kiznaiver is a 12-episode sci-fi comedy drama series. It is an original story by Mari Okada, who has also written many original and adapted screenplays of many other anime productions out there, such as Toradora, Anohana, and Wandering Sun. The studio behind Kiznaiver is Trigger, who are the same makers behind Little Witch Academia, Kill la Kill, and Space Patrol Luluco. At the time of this review, no licensor owns the home release rights to this anime in the United States, which also means there's no official parental guidelines either. If I had to guesstimate, I'd give this show a TV-14 rating. You can legally watch Kiznaiver at Crunchyroll.com for free, or through its various apps if you're a premium member. Kiznaiver takes place in a fictional futuristic city called Sugomori City. There, viewers meet Katsuhira Agata, our teenage reserve protagonist, who is not capable of feeling any physical pain. A little bit different, I know, but hang in there. He is a bit of a loner with the exception of his childhood friend, Shidori Takashihiro. Shidori is your average goody two-shoes who can be loud and emotional, especially when it comes to the well-being of Katsuhira. She likes him. These two attend the same high school freshman class, along with their fellow 6 classmates. Hajime Tenga, a violent rowdy delinquent, Sugorohito Yuta, a cunning ladies' man, Honoka Maiki, an intelligent, condescending ice queen, Nico Niyama, an energetic eccentric, Yoshiharu Hisomu, a pretty boy masochist, and lastly, Noriko Sonozaki, a mysterious, emotionless beauty. While all these characters have been in the same classroom for an entire school year, these students hardly know each other, since they run in completely different circles. Soon before school gets out for summer break, Sonozaki kidnaps Katsuhira and the gang and implants a device in each of them to carry out the city's secret experiment, the Kizna system. The Kizna system's goal is not something evil diabolic. It actually is quite the opposite. Its goal is to achieve world peace by letting people feel another person's pain. These humans who can feel each other's pain are known as Kiznaivers, which sounds a little confusing. So, for example, if somebody in the group gets punched in the face, then the entire group feels that same pain in their head. This unique gift, or curse, also allows members of the group to split their pain with the rest of the group. For instance, normally people would die from high falls, but Kiznaivers would be able to survive these physical harm since their pain is divided amongst the rest of the group. As you can imagine, these students really aren't thrilled about being somebody's guinea pig and demand to be free of this experiment. In order for our new Anime Breakfast Club friends to break their new bonds, they must work together and complete missions assigned by Sonozaki. Thankfully, they don't have to murder anybody. Their missions often involve helping their fellow Kiznaivers. Can these complete strangers with different personalities put aside their differences and overcome their personal demons in order to achieve a great understanding of their fellow man? Off the bat, I have to say, Kiznaiver has a unique premise. The idea of truly connecting with another person through the power of pain is quite admirable. I think it's a concept that many of us can relate to. How many people do we truly feel connected with in our lifetime? What about on a larger scale? Could we prevent wars and suffering if we could feel our enemy's pain? Of course, these questions are way too big for me to answer, but I love how this show provokes this kind of thinking. While you can take this idea to a more global level, I personally would rather focus on a more intimate level, which Kiznaiver does very well with its multiple relationships within the group. As I said before, most of these characters have very little in common with each other, so it was fun to see these personages clash with one another during some of their trials. Tenga steals each scene with his impulsive behavior. Nico's childlike wonder and innocence comes off better than you would imagine. Katsuhira's mannerisms and choice of words makes him unique for our protagonist. Honoka comes off as a stuck-up jerk, but deep down you know she cares about her fellow Kiznaivers. As for the other main characters, I wouldn't say I dislike them, but I feel like they were not utilized to their full potential. Shidori and Yuta come off as the parents of the group. They try their best to keep the group together during the most difficult times. And Yoshihiro is often portrayed simply as the weirdo in the group, and is used for laughs because of his obsession of being a masochist. These 3 characters probably get the least amount of screen time, which is a shame because the show does a fairly good job with everyone else, so it would have been nice if everyone had their moment of fame. On the bright side, everyone gets at least some character development. The Kiznaivers learn about each other through their missions and slowly understand why each character acts the way they do. The best example of this would be Honoka's story arc, where our heroes learn why Honoka keeps her distance from other people. It was a simple yet touching story, which I connected with, though maybe that's because she reminded me of myself during my high school years. Maybe I'm just a true narcissist. My biggest story complaint would be the ending of the series. Secrets are revealed towards the climax, and a sense of sacrifice and destruction was in the air, and yet somehow everything worked out okay. I don't mind a happy ending, but here it just felt like they ran out of time and were like, oh man, this is our last episode? And they lived happily ever after. The end. I wanted a little bit more drama in the ending, with all the Kiznaivers working together to overcome their final hurdle. Yes, they kind of do that here, but I wanted more. Just give me more! I'll admit, when I first heard Studio Trigger was doing the animation for the show, I was kind of nervous. I still remember seeing Kill la Kill when it was airing in Japan, and let's just say there were times that anime looked pretty rough. To my surprise, there were no high drops of animation here. The animation production was well managed this time around. There are plenty of great moments of animation, including characters' reactions and their characters' movement. Some of the characters like Tenga and Nico's animations were amazing at times. These characters have such strong personalities, and the colorful animation really brings them to life. One thing I usually don't notice in anime very often is the use of lighting. However, that was impossible to ignore in Kiznaiver, which is a good thing. Many scenes take place in the shade on a hot summer's day, or in a dark room full of computer monitors, and the use of lighting was spectacular. It makes these characters really pop out and feel like they are part of this world. Speaking about the characters, oh man, did I dig the character designs in this show. From the multiple hair color schemes of many of the characters, to Tenga's stylish hair and glasses combo set. Do these hairstyles make any sense? No, but it's anime. It's not supposed to make any sense. It's supposed to look cool, and this show does that in spades. The mere appearance of these characters gave them tons of personality thanks to the awesome character designs. At the end of the day, I really don't have any complaints in the art or animation department, so why don't we just move on, shall we? Once again, I don't speak Japanese, so feel free to take any of my opinion about the Japanese cast with an extra grain of salt. That being said, I thought the Japanese actors did a fantastic job. It was impressive to hear the two extreme sides of the character spectrum. You got Nico, Tenga, and Chidori, who can be very energetic and loud. And then you got the way more softer monotones of Katsuhira, Sonozaki, and Honaka. The voice actors were excellent at bringing their characters to life. I usually want an English dub on my Blu-ray disc, but I can honestly say I could live without an English dub because of the hard work the Japanese cast put into the show. Don't get me wrong, I would still love an English dub, though those would be some pretty big shoes to fill. The opening's music comes from the band Boom Boom Satellites, who you might recognize from their previous musical works. I recently discovered their album Exposed before watching Kiznaiver, so I felt a little smart when I guessed correctly who wrote the music for the opening. And yes, they are pretty cool. You might want to check them out if you haven't yet. While I really enjoyed their latest track, Lay Your Hands on Me, the animation part of the opening is a bit boring. Many of the shots used in the opening use a mirror filter of some kind and keep rotating what I believe to be live footage over and over again. The opening doesn't really display its characters very much, which is a shame since they were my favorite part of this anime. Clearly the studio was trying to do a more visual, unique opening, but I think they strayed a little too far from my taste. I appreciate the ending a little bit more with its soft J-rock number. The song incorporates lots of drums and piano, which work well for me. The ending displays the female cast in various serious facial expressions, which is a nice contrast from the cheerful music. It creates a happy yet unsettling feeling. The moment I have dread is finally here. It's time to talk about the OST, and it's by far the weakest aspect of this anime, in my opinion. It's not terrible or anything, it doesn't make your ears bleed, but it's super forgettable. The only musical pieces I could recall were from the more hijinks scenes and the most dramatic scene in the anime where our heroes at their all-time low. Unfortunately, that's about it. To be honest, I was expecting a very different show when I first heard Kiznaiver was created by the folks over at Trigger. I thought it would have been more similar to Kill la Kill. Instead, I got a slice of life high school drama with a splash of sci-fi. Yet I couldn't be more happy. The show has a refreshing premise about understanding our fellow man and having empathy towards others. The characters all develop and learn something through their experiences as Kiznaivers, and they are a great group of characters to watch interact with each other through the good times and the bad. The ending could have been better if the studio had like an extra episode in the budget. The animation was consistent throughout the series, and a joy to watch as these characters express themselves with one another. The character designs are top-notch and extremely recognizable, which is key if you want to sell merchandise. The Japanese actors hands down bring these characters to life, though I had mixed feelings about the opening ending, and the soundtrack was totally forgettable for me. Kiznaiver is an anime that does a lot of things right, and pushes Studio Trigger in the right direction, in my opinion. Based on my own taste and preferences, I give Kiznaiver a 4 out of 5 and a recommendation to buy it. Oh god, please don't let Aniplex sell it. These characters are too good to ignore and should be a part of your anime collection. If you like great characters, unique character designs, or superb voice acting, then this anime might be for you. If you need a perfect ending or a memorable soundtrack, then this anime might not be for you. But hey, that's just my opinion. Have you seen Kiznaiver? What did you think of it? Or what about Trigger's other anime going on right now, Space Patrol Luluko? Let me hear your thoughts about that too down in the comments below. Well, that about concludes my review for today. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give me a thumbs up by clicking the like button. And if you want to keep updated with all my video reviews, please be sure to subscribe to my channel, RoR Reviews, where I plan having many more reviews of video games and anime. Hit me up on social media if you're into that kind of thing. Links for those will be provided in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. I was Rayden, and I'll see you guys again when the sun rises out.